1 minute ago, Prime Minister Keir Starmer publicly sides with King Charles, exposing a silent but growing split inside the UK cabinet. With ministers quietly expressing unease and pressure rising around the King's recent decisions, Starmer's bold move has ignited a wave of political shock, royal tension and nationwide debate. What is really happening behind closed doors, and why has Starmer chosen this moment to stand firmly with the monarch? The answers paint a far more complex picture than anyone expected. In the heart of Westminster, where political calculations shape every decision, Prime Minister Keir Starmer's public backing of King Charles arrives at a moment loaded with pressure, scrutiny and internal government unease. While the Prime Minister's declaration appears simple on the surface, a leader supporting the monarch, the underlying context reveals a complex web of tensions spanning the cabinet, Buckingham Palace and the wider national landscape. To understand the weight of Starmer's move, it's essential to explore why King Charles is facing intensified pressure and how his decisions have triggered ripples across the political establishment. Recent royal developments, particularly those surrounding lingering controversies linked to Prince Andrew, have placed the King under renewed spotlight. His handling of these issues, though largely supported by the public, has raised questions within some corners of government, not disagreements about the monarchy itself, but about the timing, strategy and political impact of the King's decisions during a period of economic strain and shifting national priorities. Inside the cabinet, a quiet divide has been forming, not an explosive rebellion, but a subtle unease. Ministers close to national security, public welfare and foreign policy have reportedly expressed concerns about how royal controversies might affect political stability or diplomatic focus. While none of this constitutes open conflict, it does reflect a deeper truth about governance. The monarchy and the government remain institutionally separate, but symbolically intertwined. One misstep by either side can trigger consequences for both. This is where Starmer's decision becomes crucial. His public support for the King is not merely symbolic, it is strategic. By standing firmly with the monarch, Starmer positions his government as a stabilising force during an unsettled period. In a nation where the monarchy still holds significant public trust, the Prime Minister's loyalty to the Crown sends a message of unity, continuity and constitutional respect. It draws a line between leadership and uncertainty, between political noise and national coherence. But Starmer's stance also highlights the cabinet split that had been quietly growing. Some ministers privately question whether the government should remain visibly aligned with Buckingham Palace while unresolved royal matters continue to attract public scrutiny. These concerns are not attacks on the King, but reflections of political calculation. In the modern era, optics matter and every decision is weighed against public reaction. To these ministers, Starmer's unwavering support signals a bold but risky step, one that could either calm the waters or intensify internal friction. The Prime Minister, however, appears to see the broader picture. Supporting King Charles solidifies the government's commitment to constitutional stability at a time when misinformation, fake videos and political distortions have flooded social media. Recent deepfakes falsely portraying conflict between the King and Starmer have already caused confusion, making the Prime Minister's clear public stance an important countermeasure to digital misinformation. Beyond Westminster, the public is watching closely. Many see Starmer's support as a reassuring gesture, an affirmation that both the elected government and the monarchy remain aligned in safeguarding national unity. For others, it raises questions. What conversations are happening behind closed doors? How deep does the cabinet split go? And what does this mean for future decisions involving the royal family? One thing remains certain. Starmer's move has shifted the political landscape. It has forced ministers to reevaluate their positions, the media to reassess the government's relationship with Buckingham Palace, and the public to consider the evolving role of the monarchy under King Charles's leadership. The cabinet split, once quiet, is now part of the national conversation, not because of a major conflict, but because of the growing recognition that the monarchy's actions still carry immense political weight. Starmer's backing of the king is more than a headline. It's a defining moment that reveals the delicate balance between tradition, leadership, and modern political pressures. It underscores the importance of unity at the top and the risks that arise when even a subtle divide begins to widen within the most powerful rooms in government. As this story continues to unfold, one question will dominate. Is this the beginning of a new period of cooperation between Downing Street and the monarchy? Or the start of deeper tensions beneath the surface? As Westminster digests Prime Minister Keir Starmer's public support of King Charles, attention has turned to the cabinet itself, where the reported split reveals not outright rebellion, but a nuanced and strategic divergence of views. Ministers are acutely aware that the monarchy, though constitutionally separate, holds immense symbolic power in British society. Any perception of disunity between government and crown could influence public opinion, diplomatic relations, and national morale. This is why Starmer's backing of King Charles is both critical and highly calculated. The unease among certain cabinet members stems largely from timing and optics rather than principle. While Starmer emphasises national unity and constitutional respect, some ministers are concerned about the political consequences of royal controversies coinciding with economic pressures, social debates, and ongoing public scrutiny. In private discussions, these ministers have reportedly questioned whether visible support of the monarchy during sensitive developments could be interpreted as taking sides in issues that remain legally or politically delicate. Their caution reflects the long-standing British political tradition, maintaining governmental impartiality while acknowledging the monarchy's enduring public role. At the same time, Starmer's approach demonstrates a willingness to balance principled support with political pragmatism. By publicly aligning with King Charles, he reassures the public and diplomats alike that the UK government values stability, continuity, and the integrity of the crown. It also counters misinformation circulating online, including false claims of conflict or insult between Starmer and the king. By clearly communicating unity, the Prime Minister mitigates the risk of political narratives being shaped by fake content or speculative reporting. Analysts note that this cabinet split is subtle but significant. Ministers with experience in constitutional matters, foreign policy and media strategy often provide cautionary guidance, highlighting potential consequences for Downing Street's messaging. Their discussions, while private, indicate that the cabinet is engaging in careful risk assessment, weighing the symbolic importance of supporting the monarchy against potential backlash from both political opponents and public perception. Starmer's decision to move forward, despite these reservations, signals strong leadership and strategic foresight. Public reaction to Starmer's support has been mixed but largely positive. Many citizens view the Prime Minister's stance as a sign of political responsibility, a message that the government stands behind long-standing British institutions during periods of heightened scrutiny. Meanwhile, commentators and media outlets are dissecting every nuance, from the phrasing of Starmer's statements to the timing of his public appearances with or regarding the king. This attention underscores the ongoing intersection between politics, public perception, and media influence in shaping the national conversation. The cabinet split also reflects the modern pressures facing government leaders in the digital age. Unlike previous generations, today's politicians must navigate not only internal disagreements and policy debates, but also an unprecedented flow of information and misinformation online. Deepfake videos, manipulated images, and viral rumours can distort reality within hours, making clear, public, and authoritative statements essential. Starmer's support of King Charles thus serves multiple purposes: asserting unity, maintaining trust, and countering false narratives that could undermine both the government and the monarchy. Despite the subtle tension, it is important to note that the cabinet split has not resulted in open conflict. Ministers continue to collaborate on policy decisions, legislative agendas, and national priorities.